Okay, I'm doing a French seam here, and I already pinned it. What you do with a French seam is you pin the wrong sides of the fabric together, and then you want to end up with a 1/8 seam allowance. And because I'm really short on because I can tell I'm going to need all the fabric I can, so this won't be too tight on me. I'm going to try to actually sew at 1/8 and see if I can just do it evenly. And once you do that, then you flip it over and you sew it again. I'll show you that, but right now I'm going to be sewing down this way 1/8. Even though you're supposed to do 1/4, I'm going to do 1/8 because I'm going to try to use up as much of this fabric as I can because this is almost too small for me. And this is going to be tricky because this fabric likes to move. And I'm going to try to go as narrow as I can get away with. Right there. There. Going to be tricky. Back. All right. Got to concentrate on my sewing. One trick is to pull the fabric taut while you're sewing. That helps you to do better. I remember that. So I'm going to just do that. Okay, that seems to be helping quite a bit. Okay, just fold that fabric taut while I'm sewing. Just keep going. Theme from this is from Singer Sewing Essentials. This is how to sew a French seam. Pin wrong sides of fabric together. Stitch 3/8 from edges on right side of fabric. Because I'm short, I did 1/8, and I managed to pull it off. Trim seam allowance to 1/8. I won't have to do that because I stitched 1/8. Fold right sides together with stitching line exactly on fold, press flat. So I'm going to go to the ironing board and do that. Then you stitch 1/4 inch from the fold. This step in cases cut edges, check right side to be sure no raveled threads are showing. Press seam to one side. You always use a French seam when you have a sheer fabric like this, because if not, then the seams show through the fabrics and it looks really unprofessional. So that's why I'm doing a French seam. And by the way, this is the part of the pattern that was missing, and I have a feeling Jesus did this on purpose because he wanted me to sew a French seam here. So let's go ahead and work on this. I got to go to the ironing. What I did is I trimmed the seam allowance to 1/8. I made sure I went through here and it's pretty much at 1/8. Now I'm going to fold the right sides together, kind of fold it over like this. And then right on the fold there, I'm going to iron all the way down, and then I'm going to trim. Then I'm going to sew going down like this. And then that'll be the French seam, and then I'll be done with one side. Okay, looks like I'm done with the French seams. Let me just iron out what I did, and then we've got the side seams done. Then I have to go for side seams are done. I use French seams. I'm obviously not going to, so I'm done for sewing. I've done the French seams. Now I'm going to work on the shoulders, and that's this right here. And the way this is going to go is it's going to kind of open up like it's kind of hard to see here, but as you can see, the French seams, they don't show that much, so they're the best seams to use for sheer material. And I did a French seam on both sides. So side seams are done. And now after I exercise, I may work on the sleeves next.